Alright guys, welcome back to God of War. The last time we met in God of War, well, we died. So yeah, we actually got to Pandora's box, but unfortunately Ares, with the power of, what the hell, of plot, I guess, managed to kill us from all the way across Athens by throwing a pillar at us, and that managed to impale us. Um, but, um, you know, everyone knows the biggest running joke in God of War is that you can't kill Kratos permanently. He'll just be back in 5 minutes. Probably even more angry, and with more upgrades. And, oh. Okay, yeah, thanks, game, for telling us the obvious. Yes, I know I'm dead. The prompt should be, you are even more dead. But last part, I mentioned that I wanted to talk about the revelations of plot that happened after Ares killed us. So, for those who do not remember because of different reasons, or you just don't know, Kratos killed his wife and child, his wife and daughter. I don't remember his wife's name, but his daughter's name is Calliope. In fact, I don't even know if we learn his wife's name. But that doesn't matter at the end of the day. So, you know, Kratos, you know, after being saved by Ares, swore eternal servitude to him. And as a result, you know, Kratos went from place to place, killing a bunch of people who Ares deemed against him. And one day he went to a village that offered praise to Athena instead of Ares. And as a result, Kratos went in and killed everyone. But, you know, Ares actually manipulated the whole thing to where Kratos' wife and child were there, even though they were in Sparta, to Kratos' last recollection. So Kratos unintentionally kills his wife and child. And as a result of killing his wife and child, he is cursed to bear the ashes of both of them on his skin at all times. That is why he is the pale white that we see now. No, it is not like a genetic mutation or anything like that. That is the ash of his wife and child, which brings in a lot of bad implications that I don't want to be thinking about. Especially when it comes to this franchise's reputation with sex minigames, but never mind. Okay, by the way, I sped this section up because this is a balancing segment where first off, the pillars move, so you're going to be constantly jumping like I am, and there's blades on them. And guess what? There are treasure chests here! Yeah, there are actually a lot of treasure chests in Hades, but yes, but I die a lot in this section, so I'm just like, screw it, I'm going to just speed it up for the commentary, so yeah. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So, Kratos killing his wife and child, you know, sad as it is, you know, this game does not really do a good job of making me want to sympathize with him. Okay, I can't take this, I cannot talk with, you know, hearing Kratos' high-pitched voice right now. So, this game tries to, in a very, I don't know how to word this. This game tries to, you know, make you sympathize with Kratos a little bit. You know, yeah, you know, he killed his wife and kid. He feels bad, as he should. But nothing in this game... How did I die there? Nothing in this game has really shown to me that Kratos is actually a decent guy before he killed his wife and kids. Or, you know, even now. You know, we've seen this at the beginning of the game, where Kratos kills the boat captain, literally right when we got into Hades, too. You know, Kratos kills the boat captain right after we defeat the Hydra, because, you know, he's like, the boat captain's like, oh, thank the gods you came back for me, and then Kratos is just a dick and just says, I didn't come back for you, and then just lets him die. And then, you know, Kratos does the same exact thing here. He kills the boat captain and lets him fall into Hades below instead of helping him out. And, excuse me, and you know, he also is just very rude towards, you know, the gods who are trying to help him at times, especially Athena. And then, but like, even before Kratos, you know, pledged loyalty to Ares, we see Kratos kind of as a dick. You know, his wife, the first cutscene I think we have with Kratos, you know, where the narrator mentions that, Oh, by the way, the narrator for this game is Gaia. She's the narrator for both this game and God of War 2. She's also the narrator in God of War Ascension, yeah. So, I don't know why they have Gaia narrating this, but, you know, I don't care enough to ask. But, as I was saying, as Gaia, you know, says, you know, Kratos' wife did not like what Kratos was doing as a Spartan general. He was overkill. And we kind of see that, you know, he doesn't seem like a person, he didn't seem like a person who really was worth, you know, redeeming. However, I will say that later games do a really good job of making me like Kratos as a person a little bit more. Especially with Deimos, his brother. We see something with, and obviously the new games, God of War 4 and God of War Ragnarok, do a really good job of making me like Kratos with, you know, Atreus and stuff like that. Like they do, the new games do a really good job with that. And I will admit that Chains of Olympus did really make me feel bad for Kratos, because, spoiler alert for Chains of Olympus, Kratos does, like, reunite with his daughter for just a little bit, but is forced to give her up in order to stop the major threat of that game. And it's actually pretty sad when you think about it. Also, it's really screwed up because there's a QTE for ditching your daughter. There's literally a QTE where you have to mash the circle button to make your daughter let go of you, and it's really messed up. And God of War Ascension, I think, does a pretty good job in making me want to sympathize with Kratos, especially the ending of that game. You know, there's actually a person that Kratos legitimately didn't want to kill. Oh, yeah, now we're back in normal speed. Yeah, I actually died a lot during the Hades part, mainly because of the bottomless pits. Yeah, there is so the area is just one giant bottomless pit, so you have to be very careful here. But the thing about Kratos, though, is that there is just one thing that I want from Kratos in this franchise, and I don't care when it happens. In fact, I was honestly hoping for this to happen in Ragnarok, because, but it doesn't, spoiler alert, it doesn't happen. I wanted the ash, I wanted the ashes to come off of the skin. Like, that's what I wanted. You know, as a way to prove that Kratos is no longer, you know, the same person or something like that. Or, you know, to show that Kratos' story is finally ending. Well, it's not, spoiler alert, at least I think. Not sure about that. There's a lot of places post Ragnarok can go. I'm not going to get into spoiler territory for that game yet, because I don't want to, and you know, I know a lot of people are still playing that game, so because it's a hard game to come by because you have to have a PS5 if you really want to enjoy it. I know you can play. I know there is a PS4 version, like there is the PS4 version, but from what I've gathered, it does not like the PS4. I have a friend who tried to play Cyberpunk 2077 on his base PS4, and it sounded like a freaking plane was taking off. So, you know, I think, well, from what I've gathered, PS5s are now easier to come across. Like, you can actually buy a PS5 now. They're not fiction. He says as he's had one since 2020. But like, the reason I want the ashes to come off is because I want to see that as a means to show that Kratos' story is finally ended and that, you know, it's over. We've seen Kratos finally, you know, shy away from the kind of brutality he is. And he has, in Ragnarok and in the Norse mythology, he has shied away from the way he was in the Greek mythology games. Like, he actively avoids fighting. He actively tries to avoid killing if necessary. He only does it in the pursuit of protection, which is, you know, admirable. But, you know, sometimes also in the Norse mythology games, Kratos is kind of a dick. But You know, I think that's just the thing, is that Kratos is a dick no matter what mythology he's in. But, you know, the thing about Kratos, though, is that him being a dick is much more unintentional than in the Norse mythology, because he just doesn't know how to convey his feelings well. Because that's just the thing, is like, dude, he knows how to, you know, express rage, but, you know, he doesn't know how to express love for his son and all that kind of stuff. Like, he clearly, I mean, obviously we know he loves Atreus. It's his son, for God's sake. I mean, we do see some moments that legitimately make me cry in Ragnarok, but those are so few moments that Atreus had to, you know, teach him how to do it. Oh boy, this is my favorite part of the game right here. Notice the sarcasm. Okay, actually, so here we have the spiked pillars of Hades, one of the most infamous parts of this game. So, oh, hold on, I gotta upgrade something first. There's company too. Anyway, so let me get back to the pillars of Hades, I guess. This is considered one of the most infamous parts of the game just because of how brutal it is. And it's actually, I get through both of the pillars on my first try, not gonna lie. Because, okay, well, you're gonna see it in the footage. I don't cut anything out. I swear on my life that I do not edit anything after this point. Because... And I really want to bring attention to something. I got through the spike pillars of Hades on my first try, but I couldn't beat Ares on my first try. So what the hell? So for these, if a blade so much as scrapes the bottom of Kratos' foot, you fall down no matter where you are, and there's no way to recover. Now, luckily, you don't die. However, you do lose health. So you don't want to get hit too many times. So my best advice, take your time. Do not try to, you know, leap up and all that kind of stuff unless you absolutely think you can get away with it. Like right now, like I got away with it there because the main issue I have with it is that you can't really tell where the blades are until you're right in front of them. So yeah, so the first one's easy. The first one's not that bad. It's the second one that, you know, usually gives people a lot of shit. And it gave me a lot of shit my first playthrough. But you do actually get an achievement for doing that, by the way. It's so infamous, they gave you a freaking gold trophy for getting through it. And you get the trophy no matter how many times you fell prior, by the way. You don't get an achievement for doing them both on the first try, though. That would have been really cool, though. It's the platinum. Yeah, but like right there, if I decided to go up, that would have hurt. So yeah, just best advice I can give you, take your time, you know, anticipate where the blades are going. You know, if you feel like you can leap and get away with it, then leap away. You know, like what I just did just now is where I leaped to avoid another blade. I theoretically, you know, the game could have screwed me and put a blade right at the peak of Kratos' jump, but I think they intended to not do that. Yeah, I get dangerously close right there. Because again, the hitbox for Kratos' foot is a lot bigger than you think it is. Kratos' hitbox in this section, you never realize how big Kratos' hitbox is until you actually get here. And it could also just be the hurt box for the blades. I don't know the exact properties of... You know, I've never really been one to analyze that kind of thing, you know, in depth. Yeah, got through on my first try, baby. I see no god up here other than me. So when's my revenge arc? When am I gonna start going crazy and start killing other gods? Oh, I gotta shout Ares first. Ares! Oh, is that the end of the part? Okay. Yeah, that's the end of the part. I thought I'd actually get out of Hades and then end the part. Oh, okay. That's interesting. Yeah, so the next time we meet in God of War, we're gonna continue out of Hades. We're gonna get the hell out of here, I guess you could say. So see you guys next time, and take care.